everybody. This is Kelly Simmons with the Kelly Simmons Podcast. Go on, introduce yourself.
Jeff Herndon here.
All right. We've actually been stepping our game up and actually trying to get these topics right online. There's a lot of stuff that happened this week, and we are really excited to jump right in. As again, this is the Kelly Simmons Podcast. It's the greeting and everything like that. But we really want to just jump right into it today. I don't even know about my cigar because I choked on it the last time because I had spit and smoke in my mouth, and you don't want to swallow your spit and have a mouthful of smoke at the same time.
Signs of an amateur. That's
whatever.
Signs of an amateur.
Whatever. So I might spark that up, but we may get so deep in this conversation that we just keep going and I don't even bother with it. So I'm going to let Jeff, our first topic for today is, of course, everybody's heard about it. The woman, what's her name again?
Justine Demond.
Justine Demond, the Australian chick that was murdered by the police in Minneapolis or Minnesota. One of those twin cities.
Yeah, it's in Minnesota. Minnesota.
And when I first heard about this, it happened over a weekend, last weekend?
Right.
And when I first heard about this, I had one of those sipping my tea moments where I was like, a white woman killed by police? Oh no. I was like, let's see how this turns out. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, but it turns out it wasn't just a police officer.
True. Now because they didn't immediately say his name, I was like, he's got to be white. He's got to be white. It's Minnesota for one, and they didn't immediately say his name. You knew if he was a black person, they would immediately have said his name. It turned out to be a black guy.
Yeah. It turned out to be a black guy. Black guy from, what was it? Somalian immigrant.
Yep.
Muslim.
Been on the force for 2 years.
Yep, for 2 years.
Has three prior complaints against him from women, and I'm just waiting to see how's this gonna go. And I mean, because even through the whole week I've been keeping up with it, I've even started to see, with Philando Castile, you didn't have no mayor come out and speak. No city officials come out and say how much of a tragedy it was, and we're going to work hard to get to the bottom of this. Didn't see none of that.
Well,
this woman's killed on a Friday night, and by Monday morning the mayor's speaking.
Well, here's one of my questions I had though.
Muhammad
Noor. How do you go from being a Somalian immigrant where it's all toasty warm to going to someplace cold like Minnesota?
Well, it's not even that.
What is that? I mean, you talk about going to extremes, but on the same, Kelly was
most of them come over here to go to school.
Wow.
He may come here to go to school, graduate from college, or maybe dropped out and became a police officer.
Yeah, I would think I would choose someplace a little more.
Well, I've never been to Somalia, but if they got people trying to get away from there, I don't. Minnesota is the least of my problems.
They have people signing up for Alaska.
Yeah, I'm straight. As long as I'm not in Somalia, I'm good.
So
go ahead, Jeff.
But part of so here's the deal. Of course, when this all happened, we wanted to see what the reaction was going to be and how identical, or if there would be any resemblance to the Philando Castile deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, the shootings took place in the general area, same area. It wasn't right the same spot, but the general area. And that's which brings us back to this the racial incident. Is it racial related? Is it not racial related? Now, when Philando Castile was shot, it was an uprising of trying to place it on racism.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly and I disagreed with that, and we said we think it was all part of a training issue.
Actually, this situation pretty much confirms what we think.
Confirms that
this is a black police officer who kills a white woman. Now, here's the whole thing of it. That just shows poor training. It has nothing to do with race, except for when you get into the public.
Right.
Then when you try to justify the killing of a black male, but then you victimize the white female and try to still make the police officer seem like the bad guy, and don't try to come up with a justification for her killing. That's when race comes into it.
Yeah. Now, granted, when we say as far as the training goes, the officer that did the shooting was in the passenger side and shot through the driver's side.
Which means the bullet had to go past his partner.
His partner. That doesn't really make sense.
It's like, okay, in Philando Castillo's case, you shoot into a car with a 5 or 7 year old little girl in the back seat, and a woman in the passenger seat. And in this one, with the killing of this young lady or this lady, you shoot past the face of your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of police training they do? What kind of Mickey Mouse operation they got going on in Minnesota?
We just do whatever we do up here.
We just go around killing folks.
So, but no, I'm kind of wondering now. When they finally started getting details, they said they heard a loud noise, and that's when he shot. So, kind of like Geronimo.
But the thing is, though, is that, and I heard that too. He heard a loud noise and then he shot.
Was he scared?
The thing is, though, is that he must have been more afraid he than his partner was, because his partner never drew his gun.
Well, that goes back to training and mentality. Did he have the mentality to do the job? Was he was so afraid that he drew and shot?
It goes back to another point that we made. If you are so afraid of the whole, I fear for my life, then don't become a cop.
You don't need to be a cop.
That's like somebody going into the military and saying, I fear for my life, so you join the military?
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to be in infantry. I fear for my life. I'm in infantry, but I fear for my life.
It's like going in that you have people that want to pop one in your ass. So it's like, dude, you're going into the wrong profession if you're fearing for your life.
Right.
And I understand that. But the thing is, though, is that I think what we've gone to now is we've powers that be have started to militarize the police, and
without the same discipline
as the military.
Correct.
You have people. I like to say it, but sometimes maybe military rejects.
Yep.
Or people who just want to be, the big man on campus and I'm a cop. Okay, great. Now you got an ego and this trigger-happy individual who's unstable in most situations, and now you're giving him a gun, a badge, and a taser, and pretty much carte blanche to do what he wants to do.
Right. And I want to stress on this about the training again. That I think we touched on it a little bit before, but the training for most cops in the United States it's about 6 months or just a little less. That before
I thought it was at least a year, 6 months.
6 months.
Wow.
And then they're put on the streets. Now the difference, like we talked before, with officers in the UK, they're on a 2-year program and also taught de-escalation tactics, where our cops are put on a shorter training program, hit the streets, and put on an escalation program. Now we talked. If you're not familiar with the police in in Salt Lake City.
Where'd you get Wichita from?
Well, I don't know. Wichita, Salt Lake City.
Like 1,000 miles apart.
Can I just make a mistake for once in my life?
No.
I'm almost perfect. I'm just not perfect.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
So in Wichita, with the retraining. See, that was good. Cut.
That was my fault.
So in Salt Lake City. So with the retraining, I think it was in 2015. They had not had a police shooting killing for like a few years, couple of years or whatever. But I know they had one in March or May of this year. But it was an unavoidable situation. But if you're talking about them going from 2015 at least until 2017 with retraining and being taught to de-escalate. That works. Now, granted, Salt Lake City's a little different than Chicago, right?
Hey, Salt Lake City's a little bit different than, that's a good number, but, when was the last time somebody got killed in Kansas City by police?
Friday?
I think.
I don't know.
Damn. Okay.
Actually, I don't know.
Okay.
But the cops here I believe they do a really good job.
Yeah, I've been here about a year, and I have not really heard anything.
Yeah, but overall, in the United States, there's been 660 people killed by police in the United States,
which is a lot of people.
which is a lot of people.
That's a lot.
So,
Especially from people who are supposed to be able to de-escalate a situation.
Right. That's a number that we need to focus and work on, because that's an extremely large number. So we just need to, that's something that we need to look at and
Thank
consider.
You for that, by the way.
You're welcome. And retrain our police officers. But here's the thing: we're going off on a complete tangent. I'm getting bored with that. But
but it needed to be.
One of the things I wanted to address with that also is during this time period, we need people to speak up. Okay. Now, with the Philando Castile Day incident and the other incidents, cop shootings before that, there was all this Blue Lives Matter.
Yep.
Blue
Lives
Matter is not present right now. Talking about
that black man,
defending. Well, not only that, he's Muslim.
It wasn't no problem for nobody when they put him on the force, but now that he done killed somebody, right. Now it's those whispers and everything else of things going on.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what happened before. Look, the thing is, we're not condoning the shooting. We're just saying there's hypocrisy here again. Mm-hmm. So if Blue Lives Matter, then where are you guys at right now?
And are they defending him as much as they defended Geronimo Inez during the Philando Castile case?
Nope.
So that should let you know now that blue line ends when you kill a white person.
Yep. So
that blue line of silence or that police brotherhood, it ends when you kill a white person.
I know that on I think Friday the mayor was doing a press conference, but then there was protesters that interrupted, requesting her resignation, and those protesters I believe the protest was set up by black individuals, but the whole
the mayor's resignation.
Yes, they were.
Why are they calling for her resignation?
I don't know. We'll talk about that. But the thing is that so we have a group of protesters that are mixed. So it's not all black people, it's not all white people. We have a group of individuals, which is what we need to do to see an injustice and make changes. Now, you're talking about the mayor. Mm-hmm. The mayor, you can't go around demanding everybody's job when something bad happens.
Especially when they're not directly involved in it.
Right. Now, that's the person that you need to talk to about making the changes. And so you want to fire her, bring in whoever, and you're going to be the one to make the changes.
Well, if you want to change the police department and their training, then you need to fire the people who are head of the police department.
Well, what about the academies?
Yeah, well, start from the top down.
What about the training at the academy? What about the people that are instructing and putting together the curriculum at the academies?
Yep.
Where and when does the change begin? Instead of justifying
at that level.
Yeah.
I think at the police academy level, when a person signs up to become a police officer, that first class, well, the first thing they need to do when a person, I don't know if they do this, but when a person comes in and says, I want to be a police officer, they fill out their paperwork and everything, and they get accepted into the training course, the first thing they need to do is go through a psychiatric course, at least evaluation, so that we can first say, is this person crazy? That's the first thing. Or do they have egotistical tendencies that may lead to a lax in judgment or a escalation when there isn't one necessary?
Ooh, what about a God complex?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, those are things you need to watch out for. And I think and it can't be just one session. I'm talking about more than one. You should have to do that just to be accepted. Mm-hmm. Don't accept them, then put them in there. Your acceptance into the training program is contingent on you passing
these pre-qualifications.
These qualifications.
But see that
by 3 different doctors.
And I don't know if that is the case. If that is the case in some areas.
I hope so.
If it is,
at least in some,
let us know.
Yeah,
we are.
If you're a police officer out there and you know what the acceptance part of it is, all right, we can probably look it up. We'll have that ready for something ready for that next show, but we can probably look it up and see. Hey, I got enough family members that are police officers. They could probably tell me what the acceptance part of it, how to get into the training program.
Well, see, that just goes to show you right there. There's no psych evaluation done. You got plenty of family members.
Really?
Crazy.
Really?
Crazy.
Really? He's
Crazy.
talk about family like that. That's what's hot. That's what's hot in the streets right now. you just okay, trying to be serious, and you just gonna go this that way. Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay. I know where you live.
You send your corrupt cop family over there.
Yep. And nobody will care.
Black cop shoots a black guy.
Nope. But yeah, we could look that stuff up and see what it's this in the Kansas City area or the areas that we live in, what the requirements are to become a police officer, and just see, and go from there. And then like I said, we want to be able to bring in a police officer and just discuss these issues, which we're working on right now.
Yeah.
To bring in, so we can work on that too.
Well, the sad thing about this is that it takes this incident for change to actually start to be made.
But isn't that the way it always is?
Yeah, I mean,
for things to get better, there always has to come. It always comes at a bad time, or a bad situation.
Well,
we are reactive, not proactive.
Right. We talk about this was not an American citizen, not yet. She was an Australian national.
Hey, judging by he's only been here for 2 years, neither was he.
So
I think it would take 7 years to become a citizen.
Yeah.
So he's only been here 2.
So
how was he even on the police force?
No, is that right? That's not right. I don't know. We'll have to double check.
Yeah, we'll double check on that.
You have to be careful about bringing up things that might show our ignorance. So
sorry.
But
you were really on one today. You
just
something last night.
But
see, right here.
Is it true or is it not? For this to actually gain some sort of ground momentum regarding the training, that it has to be a white female from another country. See, this is
Australia didn't say no when those black folks.
No, this is an international incident now. Yep. So now something has to be done. We wait until now before we start addressing these issues. And once again, there's no Blue Lives Matter, no defense of the cop. There's a lot of people being quiet on her that had a lot to say in defense of Geronimo with the Castile shooting. And we don't see them, we don't hear them. At least I haven't. I haven't heard a word. So, but are you checking out those?
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up.
Okay. Well,
2 years or more
for citizenship.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was easy for me. I was just born here, so
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, it said see, the USCIS processing time for the naturalization form is approximately 6 months. The complete process for applying for naturalization and becoming a U.S. citizen will take longer than 6 months. In order to apply for citizenship, there are requirements that must be met beforehand. So you're looking at over 6 months. So they're looking at, and I see one that says 2 years or more. Yeah. So he's been on the force for 2 years. I wonder how long he's been in the country.
Yeah. I had this story to tell, and it's a kind of in relation.
Okay.
It relates to this a little bit, to this whole story with the shooting, except not on the international level. This is a little different. So years ago, when I was in college, when we still had
you were playing college,
when we still had to type out our papers on typewriters and use correction tape and ink and all that stuff. A buddy of mine, he was majoring in forestry, fisheries, and wildlife. So
was he on the football team?
What the heck does that have to do with football?
They usually give you easy classes.
No, whatever.
You wouldn't know nothing about that.
No, I didn't take easy classes. So before your senior year, you would have to go to a summer camp for forestry, fisheries, and wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the summer camp was actually in another state. Now I'm not going to mention the state where it was at because I don't want to. We just don't need that bad press. So he goes to the summer camp.
Okay.
All right, and then at nights they can go to the local town and have drinks at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So he's at the bar and having a few drinks, and he overhears a conversation about two locals. So, and this is the conversation went basically like this. And one of the gentlemen was complaining that, and this is you have to remember this is a backwoods little town. So a backwoods country little town. So one of the guys is complaining about all the people that are invading their town and the tourists, and then also complaining about all the niggers that are in their town, and he's upset about it. And he goes, we should shoot all the niggers and just be done with them. His buddy at the table says to him, well, you can't shoot all the niggers. That's bad for tourism. Now, think about that. Think about the incident that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how are people afraid to come to the United States? You got incidents where people are getting shot. Now, even people not from the country may not feel safe. Think about the travel ban and then the whole Muslim thing. So, I mean, is that how we are perceived?
I think we were perceived like that before as gun happy, trigger happy nation. I think we had that problem before, and we'd have to bring in somebody, immigrant, somebody from outside this country to answer that. Mm-hmm. I mean, because I don't know how I know that they see us as a violent nation. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, they still coming.
Are they? Or I mean, we'll have to look into that. I mean, is the number of tourists coming to America is it down?
I mean, not even just tourists. You got people coming here just to become citizens. Because yes, we may be violent nation, but they still coming over here to go to school and get training for other things. Then they go back home, but they're still coming over here.
But we don't know if that percentage, if that is lowered or whatever. I mean, of course they're going to still be coming, but the
percentage that stays or has that percentage that are coming over here drop.
Yeah.
I think with the travel ban and everything else and this new administration that's in the White House, I think that number is going down because people just don't know. They hate uncertainty.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be in a situation where they're caught up in a situation where they can't come over here, they can't go home or whatever, or they're seen as somebody that could be hostile.
Right. Well, it's unfortunate with these incidents that are happening
But it shows that it's not a race issue and I think that black people, and I think we can move, kind of segue this into our topic for today. As far as yeah, okay. And one thing that I've been noticing, and it's really starting to get on my nerves. I don't know about you, Jeff, but it's really starting to get on my nerves. Is this pro-black movement? And I'm all for pro-black. I'm black. I like anything black. But I do think that it's a mess. And it's a mess because, and I told just this several times, the pro-black movement is worse. I mean, it is just as worse, or not, or if not even more worse than anything pro-white, white supremacy, anything else. The thing that makes it worse, pro-black worse, is because we can talk about white people and call them anything we want and get away with it. Right now on this show, we could we could say something derogatory or racist against white people, and we probably actually have people cheering.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you have somebody if you have a white person who says anything against a black person in the media or anywhere else, and they're automatically shunned for what they thought.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
and you see these pro-black people, in my opinion, they're creating more separation than combining other. I wouldn't say combining other because you don't want, but they're creating more separation between the two.
Yeah, yeah, right. These movements are supposed to empower
Mm-hmm.
and uplift, the black community. Okay, the
But
thing
can you do that by the but can you? Why do that? Why uplift yourself or your community by bashing another one?
Yeah, that's right. That's not the way to go. But the thing is that right. We want to say, okay, if you can't be shooting us and unarmed people or armed. Okay, yeah, I get most of the things like Black Lives Matter or something. Well, we're talking specifically about black people. Doesn't mean we don't agree that it's okay to shoot other races or whatever. But we're specifically talking about our people, which is great. Okay, but on the same hand, and I don't know specifically, so I'm asking and commenting at the same time. So what are we doing in our communities to make sure that we are not setting ourselves up to be the targets? So if we go into the black community and just like I do believe it was maybe even last Friday and maybe it was the week before, 3 more people getting shot here where we live in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
So what are those pro-black organizations doing to
stop that
issue?
Stop
that, right? So if
they don't say anything, they don't say anything.
Yeah, you can't go out and say, "Hey, white dudes, you're shooting black kids and stuff." What are you doing to keep black kids from
shooting other black kids?
Yeah, shooting other black kids and de-escalating those situations in the community. See, once you start resolving these issues in the community, educating, black kids, and this is what I'm talking about, kind of how this covers some of our other issues. You're educating black kids, showing them other opportunities to be successful in life besides selling drugs,
being an entertainer.
Everybody
wants to be a rapper.
Everybody's
a
rapper.
We have enough. We have enough.
Yeah, and he's great. Lil CZ, young Tupac, and young Dookie, and what are these names?
It's not even about the names. It's the fact that everybody is like, "Oh man, I'm just trying to tell my story." Dude, I don't really want to hear your story.
Your story's sorry. It really, you know what? Here's the story I want to hear. I want to hear how you went from nothing to
a
something. Doctor. Made some money. And here's the funny thing that young thugs don't realize: a lot of these rappers that you idolize because they're so hard. Don't live in the hood. Might have came from hood, but a lot of them have college degrees and taking your money to live large on. That's your money that they're throwing in the videos where your money.
Most of it ain't even their money though. Most of it's not their money. It's fake money. It's fake. It's not theirs. The car's not theirs. They're rented. The house is leased. It's not theirs. They actually own nothing, and they're putting out a lifestyle that they really don't even live themselves. They're living probably paycheck to paycheck.
A lot of them are,
and they really have no control. Yeah, not everybody is Jason. Not everybody's got hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank.
No.
And the thing is though is that just like with athletes, the possibility of you guys becoming athletes is slim to none.
Well,
and you don't want to bash on nobody's dream. If that's your dream, go ahead. But at least understand that there's the market of rappers is so what I'm trying to think of the word. It's so I would hate to say diluted?
Saturated.
Saturated. Thank you.
Saturated.
It's saturated with everybody who wants to be a rapper. You can walk down the street and there's 10 guys that are trying to peddle their album.
Everybody's a rapper.
Why?
And
there's no really big difference. It's selling drugs, killing people, having sex, beating up folks. It's the same thing. It's just that guy's using a different name than this guy, but it's all the same story. And actually, nobody really cares. And all it does is show how bad it is to the rest of the world to be black.
And that's the point right there. How bad it is. So if we're pro-black in these pro-black organizations, why is it okay for it to be that bad? What are we doing it so that these kids don't have that to rap about? Oh, I'm just talking about where I live. Well, let's change that.
Yeah, let's change that.
So, for one, let's stop having 5 or 6 babies daddies. Condoms are cheap. Much cheaper than child support if you pay it. Much cheaper than going to jail if you don't pay child support. So condoms are cheap. It says that the thing is, black, pro-black organization, 72% of black women or black mothers are unwed. 72%.
That's a lot.
You know what the nation standard is, or nation number is?
What?
25%. So 25% of the nation are unwed mothers, but 72% of blacks mothers are unwed. So think about that. So those are the issues that
pro-blacks need to be
addressed.
Okay. You have if here's the thing, and to me it just seems logical. If you, as a pro-black person, always want to talk about how bad the justice system and policing of blacks is and how unfair it is, then how about you do something to teach people how to stay away from that system? That's just me. If I know the stove is hot, I'm going to keep my black ass away from it.
Oh, I might touch it one time, but after
I'm not even going to touch it one time.
I learned my lesson. So,
well, you're gonna learn your lesson, but even from that point, if you know the stove is hot, and I see Jeff, he tries it one time, it's like, man, Jeff got screwed up by that damn stove.
Kind of like the time I stuck the fork in the outlet.
But in seeing that, I'm seeing that, and it's like, I don't want to deal with that. And then I have everybody over here saying, yeah, you don't want to deal with that. They already out against you.
Yeah.
Well, then don't go into that. Then you want to be all pissed off when the system comes there and screws you. Well, you dealing with a system that's not meant for you to work in.
Well, you're not prepared for it. So, once again, how do we prepare our young
First, teach them how to stay out of it.
Yeah,
First, teach them how to stay out of it. Second, have them know that, and this is what really this is flabbergasting to me. You out there want to talk about how fair the fair the justice system is and police are and they're all racist, but when something happens, who do you call?
Right.
You ain't calling Ghostbusters. You ain't calling that pro-black people. You ain't calling Black Lives Matter. You call 911 and the police show up.
Yeah.
But these people are unfair to you, and they're racist, and they're not out for your benefit.
Who is though? But everybody is out. Look, the world has gone to the point where everybody's out for their own benefit, anyways. Doesn't matter what color you are. But if you want,
but you can do that without But you can be out for your. I'm out for my own benefit, but I'm not. But my benefit's not going to screw you.
Exactly. But some of the things I want to get back to the cop thing again real quick, and the community. If you don't like what you say the white cops are doing in your community, then why aren't more people from your community becoming police officers? Why not? And then you have someone from your community that knows you, is aware of you and your struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then why isn't Tajon or whatever you want to call him from your community becoming a cop? Why is his mom not insisting that he becomes better than what he had or that she had or anybody else has? See, black groups need to start focusing on the black family, which there is no black family anymore. There is none. There's baby's daddies, and I'm sick of hearing that term, baby's daddy. Oh, I got 2, 3 kids. Oh, girl, she's taking care of hers. What the fuck? What? No.
It's like a badge of honor nowadays. Yeah, it's not.
So because what you're doing,
and the thing is, I can understand in certain situations. Now, if you just up here just banging every dude you see and getting knocked up, that's a problem. You need to stop that. But if you're I can understand if you're a single mom because your significant other died or something like that. Then I understand
if you were a long time living and that happens or whatever, mm-hmm. That's one thing. But just going out and having kids by different dudes and the dudes that are doing it, you're just as fucking wrong too.
Yes.
So I'm not just bagging on it. It's wrong. So you're not stopping and thinking about how you're putting your kids
already in a losing situation.
Yeah, they're already 10 yards behind in the race at the start of the race.
More than 10 yards.
So
more than 10 yards.
What are you providing them? Nothing. Those are what pro-black organizations need to start focusing on.
Yep. Education, black family, and black economics.
Yeah. Black businesses.
Black businesses. I just don't understand how you can. You up there want, and this is what I don't understand, is that you don't like other people coming into your communities, but you continue to spend your money with them.
Well, here's the thing. Most of the communities aren't, the people that live in them don't own shit in them.
They don't.
They don't own the houses.
They don't
own the businesses.
Yep.
They don't own anything. But see, if you pro-black organizations, want Black lives to matter and want us to be uplifted within the world, first the United States, within the world, then we have to start there. And there's things, teaching, like here, Kelly and I had a conversation once. Maybe I cannot afford to buy this house.
Yep.
Together, Kelly and I,
or a storefront, or a strip mall.
With Kelly and I together,
we can.
Maybe he and I can't, but me, him, and this other person,
Perfect idea. You see a store or a vacant store that's in there, that's on your block, that's abandoned. You know that there are no good supermarkets around your area. So how about you get the community together and everybody put it in and buy it. Now you create a company, everybody puts their money in. Mm-hmm. Now it becomes a corporation.
Exactly.
And then they go and buy the store.
Yeah, before you go further, though, we have to educate them on how to do this. But you're right.
But we're too busy trying that we can spend $200, $300 on some weed or some Jordans or
some Jordans. And then you don't even play ball and you're wearing Jordans.
Well, you don't. I don't play ball in my Jordans either.
You used to though, but
I never played ball in Jordans. But
no, I didn't say that. You used to play ball.
Okay, gotcha.
Be it not good, you used to play and you have Jordans now, so that's okay. I'm gonna let you slide on that one. So, anyways,
this dude is about to get thrown out of the studio.
So,
but I understand. I mean, but it's you got to start from somewhere to create something bigger. If you all put your money into a pot, and then that pot goes and buys a store, now you're all owners in that store. So now you can hire people from the community to work in your store. So now you're providing jobs for people in your community and a living wage. Then, as that store makes profits, the people who originally put their money in, who are basically investors, are making their money back, plus some. So then what does that do? Now you have more money we got a school over here that is that's run down and abandoned. Let's buy the school and create an after-school program at this abandoned school and hire some more people from the community to work there. Now you've got a grocery store and you got a school. Then you just say, okay, we have a person who goes up and becomes a doctor. Hey, can you put your facility in our neighborhood?
Yeah,
we'll buy the building for you.
Right.
So all you got to do is do your job as a doctor. We'll pay for the building. We'll take care of the insurance. We'll take care of everything else. Now you got a doctor in your area.
Yeah. Well, here's
now your whole community's coming up.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Here's what's going to be said.
Okay, go ahead. And I know what you're going to. It's always some excuse as to why black folks can't do something.
Well, it's harder than it sounds. It doesn't.
To me, it doesn't seem that hard.
Rome wasn't built in a day. That sounds all fine, but it's harder to do. Well, then it is said. I mean, you're going to get excuses. I don't have any credit. I don't have any money. Once again, we're talking about.
Don't come to me and say you don't have money when you got a hole full of. You out there. I see the shoes you wear. I see the clothes you wear. You got Gucci and everything else. I see that car you driving. It may be a piece of crap, but you got it on 28.
That's right. You got $2,000 rims.
You got sometimes more than that.
So
you got weaving here. Your kids is dressing fresh and everything else, but. If it comes to their well-being and uplifting your community, now all of a sudden you ain't got no money.
That's all you have. You think about it. All that material stuff that you spend your money on, that's all you have, and that's all you'll ever be. Just like what it was in Baby Boy, Ving Rhames. There's butter and guns. Butter and guns.
Oh God, here comes a Baby Boy.
Look, everybody's seen Baby Boy. They know about that. They know butter and guns. So, if you're just watching that movie and you just breeze over that part, you better go back and rewatch that part again and learn about the butter and the guns. Okay, because if the communities are ever going to succeed and we want to, black people are going to be uplifted and gain the respect and the equality that we want, that we seek and desire that we feel we do not have, that's how it's going to happen. And it's not by black people shooting up black people over petty ass shit and gaining respect. How the hell am I supposed to respect you when you ain't doing nothing to better yourself or contributing to life or to your community or to your city? I am. But are you? And having 3 or 4 different kids and baby's daddies and being a baby's daddy is not contributing.
Well, I gotta say this. I don't think that anybody, I mean, if you look at white, and maybe we're just so far removed from it that we don't actually recognize that they're on a different level. But when I don't see entire communities of just, well, you do see entire communities of just white people, but I wonder, okay, the issues that we're having, do you think white people or Hispanics have these same discussions?
Oh, well, you know what? Here's the thing.
Do Asians have the same discussions?
I'm gonna pull a pro-black organization.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't care. It's not about that. I read when I was doing a little bit of research. I was reading this, just like they said. Somebody with the pro-blacks thing said, you don't go to a cancer awareness race and say all cancer, all disease matters. It does, but we're racing for breast cancer right now. So that's the thing. We can't focus on what the other races are doing, because then we go back to the answer. Okay, well,
I'm not talking about focusing on that. The thing is, though, is that, like, okay, and this goes back, some in time, because, like I said, it's to 2017 now. When Barack Obama was elected president, I heard a lot of people talking about the black agenda. I don't know, do you remember that?
Yep.
The black agenda, the black agenda, the black agenda. And they got upset with the president at that time because he kept saying, I'm not just the president of black people, I'm the president for all Americans. And people got upset about that. The thing is, though, is that the man's absolutely right. If you were to go in there, if you were to elect somebody, and there as a white dude, if George Bush or I hate to say it, Donald Trump as president were to come and say, we want to have a white agenda, you would be going absolutely crazy.
Well, they assumed that once Barack came in, everybody would be rolling on dubs.
The thing is, though, is that
all your problems will be taken away.
The thing is, though, is that's the first problem, because black people have this, can I get a hookup mentality?
Yeah.
As soon as a black person gets into a position where they can help, where they have some power or some influence, oh man, can I get a hookup? Can you hook me up? No.
See, what you don't realize
I can give you a little bit, but I can't pull you down. You up here working at Murphy's Shoes, and I'm pulling you all up to the Secretary of Defense.
That's the point.
Man, please.
What you can't realize, you can't ask for a hookup unless you have something to return. Maybe not, but later. Maybe they don't. Maybe you're in a position where you could give something, but they don't need that now. So if I came to Kelly and like, hey Kelly, can I get a hookup on something? Like, yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna need this in return, because I'm in the position I could actually do that for Kelly. But Kelly's like, nah, I'm gonna wait for that later. But I'm letting you know I'm gonna ask for a hookup from you. Okay, fair. You can't have nothing to bring to the table and ask for handouts. And that's what's going on. You're asking for handouts.
If you're gonna ask for a handout, at least be qualified.
Yeah, be qualified.
Be qualified for the position you're gonna have. That you're asking for.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, black people were absolutely, and there were a lot of pro-black people who were upset with Barack Obama, and they called him a sellout. They called him everything everything but a child of God, and they were up there talking so much crap about this dude. And when it came down to it, if Trump says tomorrow we want to discuss, or we want to create a coalition for the white agenda, it would be anarchy. But you think that Barack Obama was to come out and say, we need to deal with the black agenda, black Americans were there, throwing a party. And wouldn't see nothing wrong with it. It's the hypocrisy of it. And that's what's making me upset about pro-black movement. You want to live by a different set of rules.
Right.
But you can't. You can sit up here and you can talk all this trash about every other race. But if they were to say the same crap against you, you'd be up there wanting to fight and throw and shoot guns up and having a riot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can't do that.
No.
You want to sit up here and talk about everybody else and they stuff. Dude, you got so many other issues to be worrying about. As a pro-black person, stop worrying about the black people, black men, and black women dating outside their race. Actually, I'll be honest with you, and this is from a person who's reformed from that because I used to think that it was wrong to do that. At this point in my age, I really don't care. Are you happy with the person? Yes. Well, then heck, go on then.
Yep.
I don't care. I absolutely do not care. And for you to waste time caring is absolutely immaterial to you. You're wasting your efforts and your time on something that has nothing to do with you.
Well, that's a different conversation, but I'm going to tell you,
this is what pro-black people are talking about.
I like all women. I don't care what race you're from. But I tell you what, I'm not going to take any woman, be she black, white, or whatever, that has babies' daddies. So that's another thing. If you need some kid, you 16 or 20 and 21, you got 2 or 3 kids already, you're done for. You are done for. Why? These are the things that we're talking about. Why these pro-black groups should educate to help.
I just think it's
change stuff like that, man.
I just think it's a mess. You're up here focusing on the wrong priorities.
Yeah. About that.
Get your priorities straight.
That's the same thing as the world worried about, who's gay and who's not. Who the hell
They
cares?
even come out against that too.
Well, this
and
thing,
they come out. We're getting. They say everything's trying to destroy
the black family.
The black family.
It's the preservation of the black family.
And the thing is, though, is that honestly,
is
it even worse? Is it even worse?
Here's what
if you see the way that things are going, I just want if you have the ability, and this may make me sound bad,
yeah,
and it probably will, but I've grown up in both. I wouldn't say the hood, but I've grown up in some not so good areas, and I've grown up in good areas. I'm sorry, but I want to hang out with the people in the good areas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with him. I grew up.
I like growing up in
the good areas.
I like.
I mean,
I like being able to walk outside and not have to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
I like not having living in crap.
I like being able to have my windows open during the spring and I hear boom, 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 bitches, boom, boom, boom. boom. I like to be able to do that. I don't want to hear your music either. I mean, it's okay that's acceptable, but if your trunk is rattling, but who are you impressing?
Nobody.
You're impressing a bunch of other people that are just as low as you, and that's all. If that's all you think your life is worth, then you're not doing black.
I mean, but I'm just. But what I'm getting at about making that point is this: growing up in both areas and seeing the differences between the two. It's not about race anymore. It's about the people who have and the people who don't have. And I'm sorry, I want to be a person who has.
Butter and guns.
Now here's the thing about me. I want to be a person who has. Because I want that over there with, the country club, the golf course, everything else. Nice cars, a nice big house and everything else. If you want to call me a sellout because I want that, fine, good. I'm a sellout. I'm proud. I'll fully accept that.
Me, I like to travel.
Yeah, you like to travel. I like to travel too. I want my kids to grow up in a good school. If those things are not on your priority list, then that's fine. But I want something better. If you don't, then why do I care what happens to you? I really don't care. I really do not care. If you want to live in a cesspool that's just complete, this goes downhill, 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 and you continually don't want to think of anything better, it amazes me that people will have children or raise a family in a situation in this thing. Don't you want anything? Just ask them. Do you want anything better for your children
or yourself?
Not even just for yourself, because when you become a parent and this is your parent,
right? That's your number one priority.
Your priority. You will take the clothes off your back to put clothes on your child's back.
Yeah.
Your safety becomes secondary to theirs. Your well-being becomes secondary to theirs.
Right.
So you may not want that when you become a child, your whole thing is you're living for them. You're making sure they come up in a good area, in a good environment. So if you don't even want, if the thought does not even cross your mind as you're sitting there on your couch looking at your child and saying, you know what, I want something better for you than what I have. Mm-hmm. That makes you a bad parent.
It does.
Straight up. It makes you a bad parent. And as me looking at that situation and saying they don't want anything better, you know what? I'm going to start focusing on them, and I'm going to make sure I got my stuff together so I can go over here and keep growing over here.
Right.
Because you're going to end up, especially, it's going to end up where, now, of course, some of them come out. And that's great. But it's not enough. It's like, I can't, as black people, when do we say, as black people who are educated and have the mind frame of getting better, at what point do we say, you know what, we can't help you? Mm-hmm. We're not going to waste our time and money helping you. If you want to stay in that situation, fine. But don't come to us when shit happens.
Yeah, I think you have those individuals. Not everybody's going to be saved, okay? But the thing is that the percentage in black, I think in black, is way too high.
The thing is, go ahead. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
The thing is, if you're talking about the preservation of black families and stuff, black people are people without. We're people without a nation or culture, because if we were immigrated or not immigrated. That was not the word that I'm using. If we were brought as slaves from Africa. Okay, and then that's been years and years and years and years, and all that history and culture from our ancestors has been gone and lost. Okay, and now the history that we have is the history that the culture that's been created mainly through struggle and trying to receive freedom and some sort of equal rights. That's been our struggle and that's been our culture. Okay, but today, now if you look at today, all that seems to be forgotten amongst the black community. The young black people don't give a damn about the struggles and stuff. So I mean, I guess like if you look at like Asian people, okay, even if you have Asian descent or let's say like Japanese, okay, if you're of Japanese descent and you live here in the United States, your family's lived here for a long time, you can always go back to Japan, and a lot of your history and thoughts and beliefs have been passed on. They haven't been affected or interfered with though by white people.
Well, the thing is though is that they have, but to a lesser extent. But the thing is though is that it's still been affected. The thing is though is that they make the point of still creating that connection. And at some point, most of them, they'll, even though the children may be born in America, they'll still go back and visit.
And that's what I'm saying. We don't have any of that.
Well, the thing is though is that because we don't think like, I for one want to go back to Africa. I want to go visit. I want to own a property and land and businesses over there. But the average black person walking down the street has no inkling. I mean, has no tie to. They don't want to do that. They're not thinking about that or desire to do it.
To learn anything about that.
But the thing is, though, is that that's where it comes. If you're not gonna, there's only so much a black person who is well-to-do. It's like, stop looking for a damn handout all the time.
Yeah.
And stop blaming everything on white folks. White folks are not the problem. It's black people. It's us.
Yeah.
We're the problem. They're like, oh, we're still suffering from, the slavery and everything. Yes, that may be true, but your butt still knows right from wrong.
Right. Yeah, you do. That's the other thing. They talk about the increase in black pregnancy and stuff like that. Education's the problem. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
You still know right from wrong.
You know that if you have unprotected sex, you
go into having a baby.
Yeah, you know that. Okay, you're taught that. So what more education than that simple fact that you not need to know or need to be educated on? That's a weak ass excuse.
But that's all we do. That's all black people do is we continue to blame. We blame everything. But we blame people for our downfalls. We blame people for this. We blame the white man if we can't get a job. Heck, we even blame people for our salvation. We are a blame culture. We blame everybody instead of looking at our own self and saying, wait, we messed that up. They didn't do nothing. Heck, and like some people have even said, if we were such kings and queens and everything else, and now we're the footstool of society, heck, man.
Hold on a second. Don't give me. I'm gonna get started. Kings. Not every black person.
And stop calling. That's another thing I hate. Not every person. Stop calling your kids kings and queens. They are not.
Hold on, so you
stop doing that.
Don't try to. I was coming with.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Because that shit pisses me off.
If you're calling your kids kings and queens, stop doing that.
They have done nothing to deserve that title.
What the hell makes you guys think that everybody walking on the streets of Africa is a king or a queen? They're not. It doesn't work like that. Okay, if everybody is a king and queen, then there would be nobody to rule over, right? Too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
But the thing is, though, is that I think they're creating the situation where they're trying to uplift, and that's all. And it's not. It just makes it sound stupid.
If that's the case, then that's not the behavior of royalty, though.
It's not. Everybody can't be royalty, and most of the people over here are not.
Yeah, and just to let you guys know, kings and queens are not born of bastards. So I don't mean to be rude about that.
No, you're right. They're not.
But they're not. So you might want to consider that if you're doing that.
I just hate that. I really hate when black folks do that. They refer to, first of all, I'm not your brother. You're not my brother.
Well, I don't know, man. People were separated during slavery.
Well,
so,
I understand that. We may be something, but that we don't know that history yet.
Yeah.
But I understand that. But calling these, and that goes the same thing with black folks wanting to change everything to be black. You get, me and Jeff are talking about this. You get Black Santa Claus. Okay. Does that make it better just because he's black?
Do you get more gifts?
Do you get more gifts as a black person? Does he give you something?
Bring more silver and more gold? Yeah, shiny rims.
What? Black folks have this idea that everything is black. Everything is not black.
All except for Jesus in your church, who's probably white. And when you think of Jesus, you're thinking of white Jesus.
Well, no, I've seen churches that have black Jesus.
No, I'm not saying all of them, but there are some that are a lot of them that are out there that are guilty of that. And if you have white Jesus hanging on your wall, take it down.
You already know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm sorry. Anyways, let's go back. Go back to what we were talking about.
I know, but I'm just saying it's just that idea, that mind frame or that mentality it's just stop.
Well, the thing is,
it's like all you're doing is talking, and you're not solving anything.
No, a lot of those things were created, whatever. Even if you're talking about comic books, we did have a discussion about that. Comic book creators or characters were created by white guys, so a lot of them were created in that image. You had kids that are growing up that are just as talented and creative that could create those new characters and stuff.
Yep.
Starting up their own companies. These are things, if you want these type of characters and want these type of, this type of ventures and ideas and stuff thrown out into the world, then encourage our kids to do this. Encourage our kids to be other things than what we discussed earlier, rappers and entertainers and
another thing,
be creative.
Those entertainers that have made it, stop donating money just to create more entertainers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Stop doing that. Yeah, it's great. It's like I applaud you for wanting to give money back to your community. I greatly applaud you, but all you're doing is continuing on with the same status quo that's been going. Of creating rappers and entertainers and everything else. Most of those people aren't going to make it. But who's going to have a better chance of making it? Kids who are educated in STEM in STEM education, science, technology, mathematics, engineering. Those are the ones that are going to do something. And you have a better chance if you have 100 entertainers and you have 100 people who are in STEM. I bet and believe you'll have more people, engineers and scientists and technology and mathematicians and engineers than you will rappers or basketball players or entertainers.
Yep. If you dedicate 2 to 5, 6 years of your life to go to college, you're going to have those things that you want and to be able to do the things you want. And we need pro-black organizations and those that are capable of supporting this need to start pushing this.
Well, I remember reading an article where black folks were getting mad at Jay-Z for. Now I can get mad at Jay-Z for a lot of things, but this is one issue where I don't get mad at him at all. He was talking about, or talking about black this and black that and black people, but people were getting mad at him because he had very few, if any, people at Tidal, working at Tidal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that Jay-Z's fault that there are no black people available?
Oh, we discussed. Yeah, I think I've thought about this.
You can't get mad at somebody for not hiring.
If there's no pool of black people to pick from, you can't blame them.
And then exactly, and then it goes back to our first issue. If you had a white person who only hired white people, you'd be saying that's racist. Yeah. But you want Jay-Z to hire nothing but black people. But it's not racist.
No.
That's crap. It is racist. No. Jay-Z wants the best people no matter the color. If all the best people were black, then fine. If all the best people were Asian, then fine.
Okay,
but he has...
You're talking all this shit about the best people. How do we become the best people, Kelly?
You get trained.
How do we do that?
Education. Instead of dumping... If you have a problem with your education system, stop dumping money into places that don't matter. Into people that think... Into curriculums or something that doesn't matter. Science, technology, mathematics, engineering, stuff like that. Those matter. Arts. But that's okay. But like I said, Dr. Dre, I heard that he just donated $10 million to a new what is it? Performing arts.
Mm-hmm.
Great. But what does the science people get?
Well,
what do the mathematicians get? How many actors are going to come out of that performing arts? How many directors?
Yeah,
how many producers?
That's a tough business. But
I'm not saying it can't happen, but you'll have a better average of success if you put your money towards something else.
That's true, but I think I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Okay, go ahead.
Because there's been a cry there. The black whites only Hollywood thing and all that stuff. By putting that money in, that can help encourage more African Americans to become actors. Which I have my very best friend of all time is an actor, or directors and managers. That entertainment business. There's a lot of stuff in there, but you gotta. There's a lot of good stuff in there. That's a great business.
There is. So, my whole thing is that there is a lot of good stuff in there. I totally agree with you with that. But I think that the possibility of them making it is very few and far in between.
But you're looking at it as being an actor.
I'm not looking at it as being an actor. You can be into other things.
But what if you're a director? You could be a director. You could be a talent agent.
Yep.
You could be a manager.
Yes.
That's the type of stuff that him funding that will encourage those type of jobs, not just the camera.
I just think
cameraman for film producer.
I understand that. I just think that the money could be spent better. And as far as black people, when we're saying that. You have people writing articles saying, "Oh, how come you don't have any?" Like a couple of years ago, they were talking about how come there's no black people in tech. Well, because there's nobody learning it.
Yeah. Well, who's pushing it?
That's the thing. Nobody is. Right now, I've already thought about this, and we can also talk about the finance stuff too. I'll let you run that down too. That we're starting. But because I want to get that in before we end up into that.
Yeah, and I need to get started on that.
Yeah, but still, it's in the works. But right down the street from here, there is a school, abandoned school. I've already looked into and up here thinking about what would it take to turn that into a STEM education center. I already know some people who can create curriculums for it.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people who could do be the teachers. It could be an after-school or weekend deal. We'll go to school on Monday, come here for a couple hours on Saturday or after school. It's a school right down the street. That's how you promote. That's how you do that. Yeah. And I'm going to continue to look into that because it's right down the street. We could do a lot for just the people we're shooting in this one studio. We could do a lot for people around this studio.
Yeah, that's true.
And say, hey, if you want to, and just make it a volunteer situation. So, hey, you want to make, you want to do something for science or this, or you want to do, learn multimedia technology, web page design, SEO optimization.
Yeah.
That stuff. These people make money.
But once again, the thing is that I don't think that they are aware.
But then you make them aware.
Then that's where we go back into the responsibility of people like us, pro-black organizations.
I can't depend on them because they're going to talk about something else.
They're
too busy trying to get gays and
there are
lesbians. There
are programs here, though. There are local programs that are working to do stuff like that too. But also, once again, let me ask you though. We could do all that work and do the best we can to help these kids. But if the parents aren't on board,
try to bring in the parents.
You're right. I know. What I'm saying, I'm not saying that those won't be the efforts, but we need the parents on board. The community needs to be on board.
Okay, then here's the thing. As a person, you can do what you need to do. As long as you've done your best effort in trying to do your part to help your fellow man. If that person doesn't want to pay attention or take the handout or take the opportunity, you can't blame yourself.
Right.
You move on because for every if you go for 10 kids and one person succeeds, okay, great. But now that one person makes it, as I say, a scientist, and then they go on to become a doctor, or medical research, and they find the cure for cancer.
Right.
Now they've saved millions of lives.
Then that's an interesting point. Okay, with the whole thing with the find the cure for cancer. I had a guy I was having a conversation with, and we were talking about that about kids. You never know. Like right now, it's impossible. For us to have speed of light travel and things.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were having this whole discussion about aliens and why he didn't believe in them, why I believe he's been visited, and his whole thing was that. And it came down to we just don't know who is going to do what and when. We don't know when that special person that's going to solve that problem, that's of any problem that's never been solved before, is going to be born.
Mm-hmm.
And what if that person is born, but we have not set up the opportunity to bring that ability out of them, just like you said. So if that person would never, if we had never brought that program in, then that person would never have created the cure for cancer. Mm-hmm. So what are we overlooking when we don't provide those type of things? When we let our youth run around blasting music about and listening to music about bitches and hoes, and we're having 72% unwed black mothers and babies' daddies. What all we're doing is hindering ourselves and our ability to provide something significant to the world.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. That kid's out there, and it could be one of us.
That kid is out there, and honestly,
or he's not out there, but he's coming, or she's coming.
Or the thing is, though, is that, and here's the thing where you really get them. As a parent, just because doesn't mean you can't. If you're 30s, 40s years old, even 50s, you can still achieve a lot too.
It's never too late.
The day it becomes too late for you to do anything is the day they put you in the ground.
That's right. It's never too late.
It's never too late to do anything.
And if you want to,
but if you don't want anything better, fine. But don't be pissed off at me because I do, and you're too dumb to recognize that you need to do something better for yourself too. If you want to continue to just live in just crap, okay, fine. But when you get beat upside the head, nothing works out for you. You have trouble doing this, trouble doing that. Don't come blaming the white man or anybody else for it. No, you don't want anything better.
Yeah, and the thing is if you want help, it's okay to ask for help.
It is.
You reach out, because if you are an individual and like you said, you're older, younger, whatever, and you want help and you want to better your lives, it's okay to reach out for help. That's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of strength.
And a lot of times in the black community, asking for help has been seen as a sign of weakness.
It is not.
And we need to stop that. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength that you're able to ask for help.
That's right. And that's what you should do. And if you need that, then hey, we're here. All you got to do.
Go on, tell them about the financing.
So what we're looking to do is to we want to look into. We're interested in starting up a nonprofit organization to educate not just but inner city kids and their families, parents, on financial responsibility, on financial opportunities and careers. Now, when you think about that, we're not talking about just being a teller at a bank. There's all sorts of opportunities as far as commercial loan officers, consumer. There's investment banking.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about money? That's where your money
investment
is.
Banking is money.
Investment banking, and that's 4 to 5 years of your life. And you want to make 6 figures. You can. That's a quick way to do it. Right,
you can make 6 figures, and you can go to sleep really good at night, not having to have a gun up under your pillow and worrying about the police are going to bust down your door in a raid. I sleep very comfortable.
Exactly.
I go to sleep. I sleep very comfortable.
We want to help you get there and achieve those goals. And that's something that's very near and dear to us. And like you said, we want to help educate people in that manner. And even if you're not interested in doing the type of things that we do, we're here to help you do the things that you want to do, or find the resources to do the things that you want to do. So, just be looking for that. And we'll talk more about that as time goes on. And there's other organizations in Kansas City that be looking to talk to and work with to bring these opportunities to you.
All right. I think that's our show for today. We could probably go on this for for a while.
It's been a good show today too.
Yeah. We came prepared. Everybody was good, and I really enjoyed it. I'm sure we can probably continue on. If you have questions, feel free to send them to In the Network. That's my Instagram page. You can hit me up there. I'll probably have some other stuff together as well. So hit me up. Kelly Simmons, Kero Simmons at gmail.com. You can hit me up there as well for questions. Dude.
Can't remember your own stuff, man.
I don't have to email myself.
Okay, whatever. Probably don't know your phone number either, do you? I don't call myself.
I do remember
Jump
that.
on phone number.
I do remember that. But today was a good show. Next week, or next show, topic is the feminization of black fatherhood.
Ooh.
I got a lot to say about this.
Kelly's going to wear a dress for you, too. So.
I ain't going to wear no damn dress. That ain't going to happen. Ain't never going to happen. I don't roll like that.
Well, there you go.
Wearing a damn dress. I ain't Tyler. Nope. I'm good.
But Ian does a podcast.
Nah, not going to happen. But thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you guys.
Well, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Dude, you just going to cut me out at the end?
What?
I can't say anything?
Go ahead, Jeff.
All right. Anyways, let me say my thing. I'm Jeff Herndon. These are my opinions. And if you don't like them, too bad. Subscribe, like, and share anyways. Put some comments down there. I'm done.
Yeah, you are. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. This is Kelly Simmons Podcast.
With Jeff Herndon.
Yes, with Jeff Herndon. It's our show. If you don't like it, thanks your show. Go do something else. Later.
Bye.